actually spectating and commentating over the TRL Simracing GP League Round 2 at the Burium circuit. It's going to be a 31-minute race around the 5.3 kilometer as a track map there, being raced in the BTCC next-gen touring cars. So without further ado, we're going to put ourselves into here for all of this. So the drivers are currently just undertaking qualifying, 14-minute qualifying, head off with, and now I'm going to unmute myself on Discord, shout at the one person that's helping me, and we talk on racing. Hello, random people. Ah, the one time I actually want a response. No one is here.
Bonsoir, bitches.
Yeah, say hello to the stream that we are regarding.
Yes, regard the stream.
And Kieran is randomly talking about F1 racing because he's had the game. And Gaz is actually going to help me, hopefully, commentate this.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Perhaps.
Yeah, this is...
Nice.
check how this... So, I need to be in that mode. So, here we are,
Division
currently
B round
riding...
2 commentary.
Yeah, let's see.
Calling this
This
commentary.
bloke's apparently called Ricky Risotto.
Ricky Risotto.
What a name.
Now we're riding
I like
with
the guy that's called
BT911.
Simracing GP.
Oh, he's the guy that runs this series.
Yeah.
His series. I need to quick. There's a driver tag thing. Line control. Hey. Like, tells me what to do.
Who's who?
Play vehicle labels. Let's change that to this for now.
That's the key I always use for random things I don't need.
This is on my is amazing. If I press keypad dot, it does not give me what I want to see. Great, so I just have to sort of figure out who's overtaking who.
Just guess.
Here, all I need to do is figure out who overtaking who.
Guess.
Unless I can set it up in such a way through Discord that... Ooh, actually, that's a good idea. Yes.
Hi.
Tell me if I... This on. Okay, that stream.
Ooh.
Can you see the events that are happening? In, like, the right-hand box.
Yes.
Right, you keep an eye on that.
Oh god. We don't got...
Huh? No, I don't have a second screen.
Oh.
I need to get a display port. Anyway, yeah, the first laps are coming in. D911 putting in a 142.4. Currently in first with a gap second being 0.177. Hey.
There's lots of off tracks.
Yeah, that will happen. That's what I could do, turning on auto control.
Yes. Which will probably go to the stuff I can see.
Here we are, looking at Colin Ford. This bottom bit will also be here, that live bar. It says delay, we're watching a replay. Oh, yeah.
Sound.
Here we are watching Colin Ford.
Do nothing.
This is an open qualifying by the look of it. Normally, our GP runs close qualifying. Also have the chat open. Right. When the race starts, it should be better. Oh, we've got some on-board action.
Go, Thomas.
Whoever that is in front has boxed up quite heavily. I don't know who it is, but I can't see it.
Oh yeah, it's qualifying, isn't it? So they're not even in the right order.
No, when we start getting into the race,
Yeah, then it'll be in the right order.
next time I'll go back to earlier beta, so, well, the earlier beta, so my driver tags work. At the minute.
No tags.
I mean, Gaz, you basically want to watch for the position up and down.
Yes.
Also, for people wondering, the timing board is real time in the race, so it doesn't update with the positions are the positions at live.
Very cool.
Also, I think I have a vague idea who's starting on pole.
Not me.
No, not you. I mean, if this was me, I wouldn't have even have made. I'm not good at beat. Also, guess what? Best news. I still get slow motion.
Very cool. Tape delay.
Now, a word from our sponsor. Oh, he's locked up quite heavily into turn 3. Still
That's
hits
not
the
how
apex.
sponsor
That's
works.
the word for your sponsor.
Yeah, now a word from our sponsor, TazTech. Are you looking for an affordable professional service? TazTech.
Professional.
Wait, you might be watching.
It's affordable because he loses money.
How much do you want to bet that Jam is going to come into?
Oh, you'll say something worse than that.
Many drops and put in the map. 20 left to go. There are still 4 that need to put in a lap. I can math.
Who's the one you asked to watch the race of?
Huh?
Who did you ask to watch this?
Simracing GP, the guy that runs this.
I see.
Yeah, this stream was very much thrown together. I was sort of sat there just like, watch. And he was like,
Yeah, okay.
didn't really understand. Let me do it in the end with 3 minutes to. Oh, we've got a crash here from Thomas Howard's. Thomas!
Thomas.
Like he spun off at the corner. Is he going to start back up? Someone else goes wide as anything. He is 7 seconds off of the pole position time. Rev Rich, someone that I absolutely slapped in the USF series last race. See, turn 3 is weird because
Oh, the list of stuff happening is the other way around to the way I thought it was. That's why it doesn't make any sense.
it comes in from the bottom.
Yeah, I thought it came in from the top.
No, it comes in from the bottom.
I was thinking, hey, hang on, that happened like 20 minutes ago.
So the cars that are on the field are a Super Borg, an Astra, another Astra, another Astra,
Oh,
Ford Focus, Mercedes, another Astra, Mercedes, Astra, Mercedes, Mercedes. So basically Mercedes and Vauxhall
with the odd focus.
with the odd
And a Subaru.
and the Subaru, yeah. There's, I think,
Can't forget Subaru. Subaru is
also, one
important.
thing that's great about this car, as
Subaru
you can see
life,
there,
man.
is these really love tripoding around corners.
Oh my god.
Like, I was watching the actual, like, real BTCC craft. And Jesus Christ, the amount those things tripod around corners. Especially under braking. The wheel spinning, and stop! Just not even slowly, just abrupt, just done. Also, the best part is, because not everyone has a skin, we can't even do the real thing of reading inside it of like their side window to see who it is.
Oh, that's
However,
sad.
you can see on the screen, obviously down below next to the timing bar is the position and the driver. Also on the hour, we're watching the blue on
Wow.
the race.
Informative.
No, it's very good, isn't it? I mean, this app, I don't even realise how. Oh, look, there's the odd Ford. Special in it. Oh, we're on board a little bit.
We're doing a thing, guys.
Doing a thing. We have to make this sound professional.
No.
Skrrr!
I will probably have a better, like, oh, we are on the Ford. I'll probably have a better overlay for this if I actually start doing this more consistently. This is just a test today, and I might see about doing the rest of this. Let me.
Very professional.
Thomas is not having a very good time right now, is he?
No, he's really not.
He's
Everyone
what,
probably-
7 seconds off?
He's almost 8 seconds off. And he would be 4.9, almost 5 seconds off of the car in front.
Jesus Christ.
There is 4.5 minutes left in the qualifying. After that, there'll be the full warm-up session, 5 minutes of break. Oh, on-board action. Yeah, I think the overlay camera's trying to see it as a battle, and it's like, wait a minute, there's battling. It's like, this is qualifying. Oh, he concedes the position and lets
At least Thomas has actually done a lap and like clean Mazak.
Yep. And see if I can quickly grab the standings. See where we currently are in Division
Who's
B.
good and who's bad?
Exactly, and then.
So you need to be informed.
In Division B, at first we have a guy called XPS.
Did that guy get a pit lane penalty already?
Possibility.
Thomas, pray, quick.
So the top 10 is XPS on 31 points. It's actually a tied first position. Him, Artem Racing TV, and Trev Rich, all on 31 points. Followed by that is Profi and D on 1 on a second at 29 point pace. Followed by CL Tronen at 7 as well with SRGP and G. Followed by Appy Week and then Javier Benitez.
Half of which are not in this race.
PB11's in this race.
There's some of them aren't.
Trev Rich is in the race.
Where's the...
Yeah, I'll put the.
Oh no, yeah, they are here. I just couldn't find them.
Chat, so reference. Yeah.
I need my glasses on, to be fair.
But yeah, the layout is actually quite nice. We have obviously the timing screen, and as well, for me, it's actually behind. For everyone else, it's actually down in the corner. We have who we're actually watching, along with their current sector times and their best time as well. Yay! Obviously, green is personal best. Purple is session best. However, when we get underway with a race, it can be anyone's game of who we act.
That guy.
As we come up now to the final 120 seconds, people who are just starting a lap will have this out lap, and people who are currently coming up to the end of the lap might make the next lap and have one more. There's either 1 or 2 laps left.
Mazak needs to get his arse in gear.
Is Mazak actually
Do a
doing
lap.
anything? No, he's in
I
the
don't.
He's in
Oh.
an Astra. 11, our current leader here.
Adrian Flux Insurance on that Astra. Very nice.
Many people are driving that Astra. Oh, ISR XPS. Current ship leader goes fastest with 141.9.
No,
That's
it is a Flux.
Yes.
Is a Flux.
Right, I also have Twitch channel. People might not watch it. I should shamelessly advertise this everywhere. Done it on Twitch. Other people see.
Status. No, people can't watch it because with my voice in, they'll become too excited.
Shut up.
I mean, it's not wrong. I'm excited just being here.
He's over. Uncle Nui.
That's not where you stop.
So, here are the
Oh,
current
oh, he's
times.
just teleported to the pits. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I
motorsport, everybody.
I think he's given up on his lap. And he's just...
That's how cars work. Yeah.
The time in provision first is Express, DB, Colin 4, Ricky Risotto, Jonathan, Kyle Tronen, Lee, Happy Dwarf, Javier Eredeno, Marco Lizard, last name, his name is too long for my timing sheet, so Marco, XIQE, Thomas
Exactly.
Eric, Rich, David Mollecker, Ablob, SRG, E. Shepherd, Thomas Howitzel, and last and failed to put in a lap is Gregory.
Maybe he's fallen asleep.
I've done that one.
Just like every single one
It
of
was
those
when-
YouTube Twitch videos.
Fuck
Well,
you!
0 of them. I'm the only person watching it.
I'm
so-
watching it. I'm watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's just me and you.
A thing in SRG.
Oh god. Hopefully the race is over by the time you get it. By the time anyone joins. Wait, how long is the race? How long do I have to sit here for?
The race is 31 minutes.
Okay, that's not
That's
too
not too
bad.
bad. It's a short race.
I was gonna say
TRL,
if it was like 3 hours or something, I wouldn't have time.
USF one is 45 minutes a race with the last race being. My arms are dead after it. This as well is the fact that I'll be racing around USF next weekend.
Very cool.
Gaz should come and do commentary for it.
No.
Gaz, tell me, is this looking date?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't know about the audio because I have to mute it, obviously, but
So, yeah, the commentary each of our rooms is obviously Gaz and Kieran.
although I think I'm the only one that's actually actively watching.
I'm currently partway through a race, but I'll commentate for the race.
Well, qualifying is over. I think we're waiting on people to put in there.
Thomas is still 4 seconds off the pace
Oh,
of the guy in front of him.
there we go. Pre-warm up.
Pre-warm up.
What are our actually get that bell jump? What are our expectations for the race, lads?
I reckon first is pretty good.
Well, it's tied first. Standings with him. I think Trev Rich is also up there, who's qualified in 14th. So
Oh dear.
maybe not a good shot. He's going to have a lot of work to do.
He's going to have to make his way through the field quite quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a 5-minute warm up. Get through. Let's talk about the track. Track map. Here's a
Track map.
circuit made by Herman Tilke. It's FIA Grade 1.
Isn't everything made by Herman Tilke?
Pretty much. And it actually hosts the MotoGP race. And I don't know if it still does it. No idea. But yep, TRL, BTCC, round 2 at Buriram. Race length for 31 minutes with rolling start today. But I could be wrong. So, yay. Where, obviously, overtaking zones are easily going to be turn 1, 3, probably 5 and 6, and probably turn 12 as well. The ones in... Good. Also, my Twitch is not actually picking up my microphone because my attack gate.
Nice.
Yikes! Even commentating for the past.
Even though, because I'm touching anything, I'm just going to turn it off. Because it doesn't really affect that much. Yeah.
Touchy, touchy.
I'll touch you.
Ooh.
Guys, professional, please. Thank you.
You're,
Professional, my
you're the
arsehole.
one saying professional. Yeah, professional. No, we do actually have to be professional.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, it's obviously something that I want to keep doing because I actually do quite enjoy commentating races. This takes me back to the 965 GTR rally in which I commentated along with
yeah, I remember this.
Al Nakib or
Unlucky,
mate, he was honestly sick. I'm not gonna lie.
unlucky.
Right, he was actually decent.
I miss Goom. He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, I think we all do. I think that's better now. I think my mic is actually picking up me talking all the way through.
Like it should do, yeah.
Like it should do, yes. So, yeah, here's the circuit. We've got 2 minutes left, so let's jump back into the race here. I actually really like the way my layout has been done for this. It looks really nice. Oh, 2 identical Mercedes coming into the pits there.
Yeah.
Also, they've decided that Garage 3 and Garage 4, entirely unnecessary.
Yeah, why are they boarded up?
Exactly, why are they boarded up?
Or shuttered, even.
It's pointless. I know. It, you know.
3 and 4 forbidden. Haram. Not allowed.
Not allowed. I'm actually going to turn up the game sound a little bit because it's a bit too quiet. That
You
should
need
be
to
better.
hear all the.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the Plato on his.
Yeah,
in his
because he's
car.
driving Plato's car.
Yeah, I thought so.
some people do have their own livery, such as him,
Mr.
Trev Rich.
Mr. Subaru boy.
He's actually in TRL Division B, I think, but he made it into Division C for the last race. I don't know why. It might have been because his time.
Is C better or worse?
So A is top, B is middle, C is bottom.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I'm in the lowest. DB911 set the best sector one time, as we now look at Ricky Risotto.
Ricky
See,
Risotto.
I've given Gaz the biggest job out of everyone here. He's got to look at fucking multiple things at once. I feel so bad for you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Gaz.
I'm watching the stream twice, as well as this other window thing I have to look at.
The events. I will end up looking at just getting a small like DisplayPort monitor or a small HDMI monitor and just buy an adapter. Literally just a tiny one so I can open it up because it'd be useful for my telemetry stuff as well.
Telemetry.
Here we are with Marco Lizard Dionysi.
Oh, his name's Dionysi. Okay, right.
Yeah.
We found out now that his name doesn't cut off the screen.
David Molliker.
Oh, Mazak's back.
Oh, so Mazak is actually going to be starting the race. He puts in a 144.07.
He's actually not slow.
I mean,
Good job.
The top time was what, a 142?
141.9 was Paul, I think.
Oh, 141.9. I mean,
Yeah.
again, not a bad lap. This is pre-warm-up though, so this will be fully at race fuel, race setups if people run a different one. I know I don't, some people do. Up to them.
I could never get round the qualifying setup thing. I end up just using the race set and qualifying.
But yeah, 20 cars look to be starting this race. Not all of them do warm-up. I know I don't. I actually go and get a drink, go to the toilet, do all that sort of fun stuff. Hooray. Carl!
Cheeky, he goes for a cheeky wank in the middle of warm-up.
Wait. One thing that should be known, this is not going to be a safe for work commentary.
Not today.
Definitely not. I mean, to be fair though, if you're working at this time, then...
Look, he's actually even... He hasn't removed the wireframe for that bit, but he tried. So,
Nice.
race is about to start. Here's how the grid lines up. Fur XPS, followed by DB911, Colin Forth, Ricky Risotto, Uncle Nui, John M, Sile Tronan, Liege, Appy Dwerf, Javier, Thomas Prike, Marco Lizard, XQE, Trev Rich, David Molliker, Hablon, Simracing GP, D Shepherd, Thomas Holletzil, and Gurgly Mazak rounds off the grid. Here we go. So it's going to be a pretty interesting start here. There is a special rolling start procedure in place. I think everyone has to line up single file off the start and then go at pit speed until the middle of turn 3 where their race then starts.
Bit weird, but okay.
It's to avoid like turn 1 pile-ups, really.
Oh,
So
right.
we're away. Okay, it actually does look like people have listened to it. I remember in the TRL one we had to restart the race because people forgot and just went, oh yeah, we're meant to be doing this!
Oh yeah, the thing.
Yeah, honestly though, like the racing that happens in this
Hey, they've all managed it. Well done, boys. And girls, maybe.
Lads. So people will gain and lose positions here. It happens. Sometimes you're just not quick enough off the mark.
He's side by side already.
Side by side with Trev Rich. As you can see, some tyre heating is happening. We're looking at David Molliker, who is in P15. He's going to be behind Trev Rich and in front of Hablon. However, he is looking to get that outside line through turn 3. So, who do we think is going to come up to the victory here then today, lads? It's a pretty close-knit thing at the top of the table, with the gap in qualifying only being 0.2 seconds. Keep in mind that Fur XPS and Trev Rich are tied first. The only thing that's in it is the fact that Fur XPS has one race in hand. Their average finishes this year has been a second place for Trev Rich, and the average finish for XPS is 1.5.
That's pretty good.
So we're away here now at the start of the race.
No.
David Molliker gets to move up the inside of Trev Rich into the turn 4, I believe it is. It looks like he's already starting to get some room there, some breathing room with Trev Rich. Now coming into the final sector, probably one of the worst around this track, at least for the open wheel cars. I'm not sure about these, how these drive. These are pretty heavy.
Oh, that was a bit of curve off him there.
That was a bit of curve. Remember, rules dictate that 2 wheels have to be track side of the white line. Obviously, UEQ didn't really follow that there, and he's also looking to lose the position to David Molliker, which he has. We didn't quite catch that in the background, at least I didn't. However, he is looking to fight back into turn 12. They're running too wide. It's a tight right-hander here. He brakes. Molliker brakes really late, cuts across the front of the... I think that was Thomas Bright. They're actually giving him a little bit of contact, which has opened him up to Trev Rich. That was actually a good bit of commentating by me, wasn't it?
It's pretty good.
Thank you. So, also remember that if not much is happening, the program that I am using will look to replay replays of previous battles. We're now looking at Trev Rich as he's on the back of Thomas Price, but I'm not sure how he's doing. They get a lot of rear out through that corner, don't they? You can see it from the top cam, just how sideways those cars actually are.
Drifting around the corner, basically.
I mean, that is something you do. Keep in mind, this is all the next-gen touring cars that are front-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive ones are not included, so it's a front-wheel
The front-wheel drive
championship.
one. I see.
Someone in front as well. It looked to be Marco Lizard. Looked like he locked up quite a bit. Because you can see a lot of smoke. You can also see the rubbered-in line that has formed through the sessions.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there will obviously be more grip there. As Trev Rich goes wide, it doesn't look like he's holding that car very well around these corners.
Well, he's a bit all over the place, isn't
I'm
he?
not sure if that's a setup problem or not, but keep in mind he is tied first and he's currently running in P15. While his
That's in the
rival,
championship and he's
his
15th
rival
and can barely keep the
Fergus
car.
is actually in the lead. He might even be under pressure from DB911, who is actually in second place, tied at I think 29 points in the series. This is only race 2 though. Anything could change during this. So we go, we're watching Javier here as he goes into the first corner. A lot of tripoding as it looks to snap back to Colin fourth. Maybe something's happening here. We're still live, however. Just look how much rear they get out through these corners. The brakes must be absolutely fucking screaming. On the back of ZQ, oh, there is a 3-car battle in the background. Thomas Pride, Lizard and Molliker all fighting into turn 3. You can see that, I think that's Lizard on the outside, gets better as there's been a crash, off goes Prike, that looked to be a collision between him and Molliker. He comes back onto the track, gets narrowly avoided by Hablon.
Ooh.
As the rest of the cars come through. Oh, that has got to hurt. Just... Oh, okay, no, I was going to say let's rewatch that, but we're on the Trev Ridge here as he's starting to get a bit harassed there by Molliker. He's all over the back of him. Just look at how he's literally on the back of that car. There's a Lizard there, partially involved in that collision. I think actually came out better for it. He was on the outside as we go into cockpit. Oh, he takes very wide through there. Keep in mind as well, these cars are very what's the word? They have a quite big tendency to flip themselves over these curves.
Yeah, they're like rolling over.
They really do. When I was doing my test races to get all of this working today, there was just the amount of AIs that were crashing out there was quite funny actually. But while I have a drink, I'm going to let Gaz take over commentating while I'm drinking Lidl's own Pepsi Max.
Oh god. Love a bit of little Pepsi Max. Obviously, other drinks are available, but
Oh, did Trev Rich have bit of struggle there through T1. He's opened the door to Mollica, who's going down the inside. It looks like it might be a case of who can break the latest into turn 3. Mollica is ahead.
Good old Trev boy really lacks the pace around this track for some reason.
He really does.
It is worth noting, though, however, Trevor Rich's average qualifying position is 13th.
So it
But
looks,
not exactly. It looks like he's got a history of coming through.
so it looks to be that he's a climber, not he starts in
Yeah.
front and stays there. Which we do
Yeah.
love to see in racing and commentary, don't we? So here we are on Appledworth, another Team Schmonken driver, doing better than his teammate, currently in P8. I don't know where he is in terms of the championship. But you can see, like, between the different makes of cars, especially between the Subaru and the, what they call it, the Astras, you can just see how planted the Astra is compared to the Subaru. Like, there's just no movement in that body. So if we look at the timing, the gap between first and second is currently 1.3 seconds. It looks like the big battle here is actually, you know, at the front. Here's the timing from everyone to first. It looks like Thomas Pryke actually really took quite a big L with that previous collision.
He's still not last though.
He's still not last.
Somehow Thomas Herzl is still last.
Girdley Mazak as well actually
Yeah,
started.
he's climbed 3 or 4 places, hasn't he?
He has started to climb a lot.
From not setting a time in qualifying, he's now 17.
Oh, Trev Rich there looks to be on the move of Marco Lizard as we're now looking at D Shepherd. I don't know what's up with him, but he's doing something. Here we want to re-look at
If Shepherd went off track
three
before,
wide
that's probably
into
why.
there. Oh, Lizard gets a bit of a tap on the front. It makes both cars very uneasy. Trev Rich just sat there like, hello, I'll have that one.
That was a nice punt.
Goes through pretty simple. Oh, Liege is actually on the grass a little bit there. These cars don't get that unsettled, but you don't want to brake on the grass. That's death.
Yeah, that's not good.
And
You don't want
up
to be
the
doing that.
inside goes Appledworth. What a move! But is Liege going to come back? We don't know because Marco Lizard also having Simracing GP look to dive up the inside.
Oh, that was a massive dive
He's
from.
still on the inside, but he's going to get the outside, so I don't think the move's going to happen. He's forced to go the long way around onto the curb. That was a good bit of defending, as Shepherd there just doesn't really understand what track limits are.
Yep, keeps going off track. He's had 3 in the last 2 minutes.
Fourth.
4.
Oh, we're on board with Uncle Nui. He's gaining on the back of DB911. Only 0.3 seconds in it. He might be able to look here. A lock up into turn 1. It also looks like DB11 misses the apex, but Nui actually goes a bit wide on the outside. These cars are a bit more forgiving in terms of mistakes, as he's starting to gain quite heavily here. Is he going to look down the inside? He is. He's looking. He's looking. He makes the move, but is DB911 going to look to get the switch back? No, he actually...
Looks like he's made the stick there.
He has, actually. That was a good move. Nice and clean, nice and quick. He is now 2.2 seconds away from first person, who, unless something really heavy happens, I don't think the lead is going to be changing very much. As we look at Appledworth, he has been really enjoying diving into turn 5, hasn't he? Shepherd there.
Yep, Shepherd ignoring track limits again. Literally, the timing screen is just full of off-track D Shepherd.
It's probably why it's watching him.
Yeah, it is.
Right, I'm going to quickly see if I can set up the settings to not show us. There you go. 7 meters off track now, so hopefully it shouldn't show him.
Basically in the wall.
Basically, yeah. Well, it's measured from the centre of the car as well.
Oh dear.
Shepherd.
Yeah, good old Shepherd with his off-track again.
Is that
You need a career in rally racing, this man, I swear.
He really does. Like, you know, for some people though, these tracks just don't honestly, you know, we're not going to try and be negative to drivers, but it is sometimes quite funny. We're now down to 19.5 minutes left in this race. Remember, this was a 31-minute race, so when would be half time? 15.5 minutes?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
15 minutes though.
Yep.
Obviously you.
Oh,
you
we've got a
balance
3-wide
out.
battle here. 2 Astras and a third Astra going down. They get a tap. It forces him to go wide. A bit of a punt there. It looks like Zhuiku has gone very wide. Loses a fucking bunch of positions. Oh, I think he's either lost 2 positions or 4. He must be kicking himself. Because sorry, his name's actually Appledworth. Sorry. It puts him up to P8. Oh, he tripods and goes very wide there. It's going to open the door to Moleka, who's now too wide. He gets a bit of a punt. Round goes Moleka into P8. The front of the pack hasn't really been very eventful, but this mid pack has been really fun. Hasn't it, lads?
Yeah, I think it's worth noting as well that Shiku lost about 2-3 places there in that little corner. So it's interesting when you see these little battles inside here, which actually will impact the standings quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cars. You go from 26th place at 10 points up into 4th place, 29 points. There's 19 points in the whole standing, pretty much. Especially when you're getting drivers coming in and out of every single race, so you can never tell. You can never tell.
Yeah, especially this is round 2 of this series. I think, is there 8 races this series, I believe? I could be wrong. I probably am. This one is the same tracks as the USF series, which won't be live commentated like this because I race it. Damn. But yeah, with hopes, SRGP is going to let me continue doing this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a blast. I'm actually quite enjoying this. We are looking at Javier. He hasn't really been too active this race, has he? He's been the focus sometimes, but he hasn't been too active. I think right now... Oh, Ricky Risotto too wide there. With Colin Forth, I believe that is. Yeah, Colin Forth there gets a punt. Is he going to go wide into the corner? Someone else goes really wide. Both cars go wide. Colin Forth actually slows up to remove the advantage. So, you know, that's good sportsmanship from him. In those situations, if you accidentally punt someone, don't take the move. Drop back a little. Sure, the person coming up behind you might start, but you don't gain an unfair advantage by pushing people off the racing line, do you? I love how the other people who are meant to be commentating with me aren't really offering some rebuttals to what I'm saying.
It's tricky because it's one of those that it depends on who had the racing line first. Because obviously, if you're on that racing line first, then you have every single right to not to defend that racing line up until where you can. But if you're coming from an inside of the corner, just off the racing line, and where they're holding their ground, if you make that first contact, you're the one that's going to be blamed for it. So it's a very tricky situation, and you can never win.
Being like up your opponent's arse is really, like, you know, it's really risky unless you have assessed your opponent perfectly over the past few laps and know where their braking point is. If you're just up their arse for like the first 2 laps, there's a chance they'll brake, catch you out, and then that can put both of you off the track into a wall or even on your roof out of the race. Sometimes stupid moves work, but sometimes they are just that, aren't they? Stupid.
Definitely, and obviously, we're watching Dikri now. He's dropped straight through this field, qualifying reasonably high up into the top half, and now he's just dropping down into 13th. It's just not been that great of a race for him. But I mean, on the other hand, there has been an overtake in first and second. Uncle Nui is now leading this race by a small margin, just under a second. However, that second's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I believe 2 cars at the front of the field are both Astras. I know the program will rip control away from me if I try to have a look. So we'll see at the end of the race. But yeah, These cars are a bit special in their own right, obviously. These are like race-tuned road cars, but obviously these are race-tuned to be right on that limit of weight and power and everything by the manufacturers, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. But I do feel that even though the Astros haven't had any wins just yet, they do have 53 points compared to the Subaru's 48, and they also have a much higher finish of 5.83. So obviously this is geared towards the Astros, the whole touring car setup. Whether that's just because they've got more grip, whether they're better through the corners, who knows? But you should see Astros more towards the top of the field versus all the other cars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
They're definitely out qualifying as well.
I think the Lavorg as well that I've seen going around, it doesn't look to be very strong. I believe there's only 2 of them on the field being driven by Simracing GP and Trev Rich respectively. I could be wrong, keep in mind. But I've seen that they're not looking like the most stable of things. They have a lot of body roll, but their advantage comes with the fact that they're long and wide as well. They are quite good defensive cars. Because these Astras and the Ford, and as well as the Mercedes, they're quite short, aren't they? Getting the cutback on one of them is actually simpler than on the Lavorg, which is quite long.
This is interesting. I think Sheik is down to what 14th now. He's losing positions. I know I've mentioned it already, but he's also losing time on the cars ahead, which is not obviously for Shiku's. Where did he qualify? I mean, he qualified 13th as well, so he went up the field. He had a good start to this race, which obviously for him is unfortunate, but Simracing there to put up to 12th.
Yeah. Here's our race leader, Uncle Nui, actually in a Mercedes, so it's a Mercedes 1, Astra 2nd, I think it's an Astra 3rd as well, Ricky Risotto. DB911, who qualified in 2nd place, I believe, is now down to 4th place, which, obviously, the ideal scenario is, that's an MG, someone has bought an MG. John M, I applaud you for bringing the only MG on the field. But yeah, when you're racing, you obviously want to, at worst, you want to keep your qualifying position, don't you? You don't want to gain and lose, worst case scenario. If you gain, amazing. If you gain massively, even better. But losing positions sometimes is quite bad for like the way you look. Because obviously you can qualify in first, but if you don't have the pace or the consistency to keep it, you're not gonna finish very far up the order, are you?
Definitely, but obviously don't forget that some drivers are better at qualifying than others, and vice versa. You'll have drivers which can be rapid through qualifying because they're only focused on setting the best times, the best laps. Whereas on a race, all you need is that consistency and that speed to match the others.
And locking up quite heavily on it.
Very wide.
Off the track he goes again.
Very wide. But going back to that point, like you have races which are going to be better qualifiers than they are long races. Fortunately for these guys, it's only 30 minutes. That concentration doesn't need to be too huge. But when you start getting battles, it just gets a little bit harder.
Yeah, battling as well. A thing not a lot of people really understand is actually the impact on the car ahead that battling gives you. Because as you're looking to defend your position and slowing down to give yourself that gap to lunge or that gap to cut back, you are taking your gap away from first place or the car ahead of you as well. Because obviously if they're in clean air and not in a battle, they're running faster than what you are trying to get past the car ahead.
Oh, definitely, and obviously for the cars behind as well, that's even better. If you're behind the car and you're quite a few seconds behind, you want those cars in front to be battling because they're going to be defending each other, they're going to be slowing down, they're going to be braking earlier. Every single split second at that point is valuable to catch up. And all it takes is one mistake from those two cars, and you might have got yourself a position.
Yeah, exactly. One race springs to mind for me. It was a 4-hour Daytona, one of my first ever GT races, about 2 or 3 years ago now. We were running in, I think we were running in 4th, and there was a freeway battle ahead. We were in that weird situation where you're not really going to start harassing in front, but you're not going to start harassing behind either. And what had happened was this freeway battle, the two team schmonking cars there, Trev Rich going up into 10th position, His qualifying was 14th or 15th?
14th. But as we said, he's got a bit of a history of climbing through the field. His
made-
average time position is 13.5.
He
I
has
believe.
made up the 4 positions, which, you know, good on him. Obviously, you know, climbing is obviously good. But yeah, going back to that story, we're running in 4th. You know, not really gonna catch up to a head. We're sort of just focusing on bringing the car home. Our pace against the cars behind was enough to keep it stagnated. And the 3-car battle up ahead, one of them locked up quite heavily into a corner and took out the other 2 in the domino effect. We managed to get that gap down and actually finally finish in 2nd place, only because 1st place wasn't actually hit that hard and could recover quite quickly. But it's just the fact that while racing, yeah, you want good racing as well, but you're constantly assessing the guy you're driving against for his mistakes, his weaknesses, where to attack and where to defend against them. You have to really sum it up with people, which is like the biggest, at least in my mind, it's the biggest talent of a sim racer, is actually being able to assess your opponent. So we're now down to the final 8.5 minutes here. I'll tell you something, for me at least, commentating over this, the race has flown by.
Definitely. I didn't even realise we were 8 minutes left.
It has been a good race. The top 3 is currently sitting at Uncle Nui, Fur XPS, and Ricky Risotto. With obviously the rest of the grid you can see, it looks like Thomas Hotzel is a minute and 25 behind, but Thomas Pryke as well. I don't know if Shepard had got some damage and had to pit, or if he's just been running wide that much, but he is actually starting to slowly catch up to Marco Lizard. Obviously that issue that happened with him, probably not his fault, but it did put him quite far down the order, didn't it?
Yeah, and as we said, drivers can just have a bit of a rough race. It's tricky because at the top of this track, the leaders, the top 3, that I mean, Uncle New is just running away with this right now. He came from, I think it was qualified in 4th or 3rd, to now taking this lead by what, a good 4 or 5 seconds,
Yeah,
almost.
He has been on that climb, hasn't he? Like, honestly, very, very good racing from him today. Where is he currently in the Drivers' Championship?
That is what I'm looking for. I genuinely can't see him on here.
Or he might not have actually started the race yet. This could be his first race.
Very well could be, which
If
makes it
it's-
very interesting towards the top, because then you've got Fairfax, you've got Artem, who have already both won a race, and have gone into the top 3.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I've also just
Artex
noticed
isn't racing tonight.
on the website, Ricky Risotto's picture is actually just a risotto.
Brilliant, absolutely, I love it. I saw it, and I was like, I don't want to make that comment, but it is brilliant. Like, obviously,
Mate, it's
playing
stuff like
into the
that
name, I love
that
it.
you notice out of like the corner. Oh, as we get a dive here from Hablom on Gary Mazak. Actually, quite a good move. There is a good diving location, but you need that move to stick so you can claim the inside into this corner. Otherwise, you can get forced around a long way, and you lose a lot of time doing that. Here we are, David Molliker, currently in P7. I don't think he's going to be harassing the cars ahead. However, he might be getting harassed by Javier in a lap or 2, depending. However, Javier as well, quite heavily being harassed too.
I'll tell you what is harassing. That brace for 3rd is slowly catching. Colin Forth in that little exchange with everyone, with us watching others. He has taken.
Well, here he is.
his
He's
off-
on the outside of the MG. Is he going to try to cut back, or is he going to try and just dip back in? Sorry to butt in on you there, Kieran. The camera
It's slowly fine. It's slowly fine.
Sort of just moved into it, really, didn't it?
Yeah, that race is hotting up. I
really
wouldn't be
is.
surprised if we see a couple more exchanges in between that race.
Oh,
Before the end.
Suzuki and Liege here. Liege is the attacking car in 14th. He's on the inside, but oh, Zakiri cuts that out quite nicely there, forcing him to slow down. The gap wasn't even there on the inside really to begin with. He had enough of a car there So honestly, I wouldn't call that blocking because he had about half of the car there, really, you know.
Around half a car, I believe. Obviously, I'm watching it with the delay, so I can also watch.
I mean, that's why I put the Discord thing up because that has barely any delay to it.
Oh no, of course, but obviously I'm watching the event viewer as well.
I'm just outside press sign. Give me a minute. There we go. Oh, here we go. We're just having a look here. Ooh. Honestly, this battle is starting to look a little bit interesting, isn't it? After the race as well, we'll have a look through the event, see if we can pick out some of our favourites. Or by that I mean, so here's a replay here of Appleworth. Not sure what position this was a battle for, but he goes up the inside there. Quite a nice move. No, that's live timing, mate. That's not replay timing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're battling for 10th there because he took the position.
Fair enough.
From
so
Saldrin.
Here we are, Trev Rich. Now, honestly,
Starting from 14th, he's done really well.
he's in P9 at the minute. I don't know if they're in a chat and they've asked, you know, to move over. If he's asked his teammate to move over to keep his championship race alive, it can happen. It has happened. Obviously, it's just a fact of racing, really, isn't it?
Definitely, obviously, and obviously, if you know that
Side Colin Forth was looking. Ooh.
doesn't get it.
Nah, he had to slow that car down though. I'll tell you something as well. That MG, only one on the grid, currently in P4. I think that is probably quite a nicely suited car for this track. Oh, as Ricky Risotto goes wide, doesn't seem to lose much time.
It's worth noting in the past 2 minutes we haven't had a single overtake. However, Shepard has just gone off track, as I say that.
Yeah, he's not been amazing in this race, has he? But it could be a number of things. He could have just not had the practice in.
Definitely, and obviously if you don't get that practice, obviously with this being an online sim race as well, if you don't get that kind of practice, it's not easy to do.
Exactly, it's not like the real world where you only have a set amount of time in a day. Sim racing, you can get on from school, work, college, and if you've got free time, you can throw the sim on and, you know, get some laps in. Some people
keyword.
Yeah. So Colin Forth actually looking now. It looks like he's going to get the outside line. That MG looks rapid in a straight line.
In a straight line, yes.
It was Colin. It's actually a three-way battle really here. Colin Forth going to be forced to go the long way round. I mean, John then gave him the space, which, you know, props to him. Like one thing
huge prop.
Here, this is technically a rookie league. The people racing here are actually pretty respectful in terms of giving the amount of like track limit and like the amount there.
Huge props. And coming into the last 90 seconds of the race, I think Uncle Nui has just ran away with it.
Yeah, 7.7 seconds here. Thomas Pryke, you know, got crashed out. Actually on this straight here. Not the best of days for him, I don't think. But, you know, he's come up from 19th to 16th. You know, the gap ahead he had was quite big. So, props to him at least, you know.
Definitely. I think the last minute now will be decisive for fourth position, even.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's even this battle here. The battle for 8 between Trev, Javier, and Appy. All it takes on this track, especially in turn 12, is your opponent being out of place for you just to clean that inside.
Definitely. But last 40 seconds, who knows what will happen. I think the top 3 are settled. It's 4th and 5th of the battle, and the top 8 to 10th. These 3, yeah. Yeah,
it looks like, I think apart from the battle for 4th, not much is going to be happening. Now,
no, I think Trev drives solidly enough. I don't think it's going to be overtaken.
I'm unsure about the way R Factor does timing, but this might be the last lap, or the next lap might be the last lap. I think it depends on the lead vehicle. However, I don't think anyone... Actually, no, I think one car has been lapped as Thomas Hoaxel, and I think if there was another lap or two, I think Shepard might be as well. As Colin Forth is now going to get the inside into turn 4. have to be really careful here, because you hit that curb and the car wants to slide out under you. He actually gets a bit of a tap there from John M, who slows up. He's looking down the inside, another tap there. Oh, as Javier is looking at Trev Rich, but no, he cuts that quite nicely there. All to both of them go wide. Oh, Trev Rich locks up, forces every car behind him to actually go off with him. Is he backing Javier up into his teammate?
I mean, it's not exactly the nicest move, obviously, to back him up into your teammate. All it needs is for your teammate to crash, and that's it. That's that race over. Obviously, your teammate right now is in 10th, and it's not a huge gap to 11th.
Exactly. Speaking of people that have been falling behind, that sounded like someone had a crash. DB911 down in 6th place now as Thomas Pride gets... Ooh, that was a bit of a cut across there from Hablon, wasn't it?
Just a bit. Obviously, at the end of the race, you need to be making those kind of moves. Unfortunately, it's not the best move as an opposition to have. But I mean, this race is pretty much like wrapping up now.
Is he going to go for a look down the inside? He's braking quite early. No, I think he's going to... Oh, is he going to get it down the straight? Oh, it's side by side to the line. It looks like Trev Rich is ahead. Sorry, Thomas Pride. And he actually slows down to give the position back to Hablon. But did he get it? My timing screen says no.
It says no.
Wow.
What, 1 second? 0.1 second?
Not even
something like
that. 50.6 to the leader and 50.68 to the leader. So only 0.08 of a second in it. Wow. That was pretty close. So here's how it looks like we're starting to, head in now. With Uncle Newey finishing in 1st, followed by Furrow XPS, Ricky Risotto, Colin 4th, came out in 4th place, followed by John M, DB911, David Molliker, Trev Rich. Again, I think he climbed quite nicely, to be honest. I'll give him that one, as Thomas Hoetzel comes across the line now to finish up. Honestly, that was actually a pretty good race today.
Yeah, definitely. I think Uncle Nui had a really good race out in front. I mean, we didn't get to watch him at all because he's just so far out. Not everyone wants to just sit and watch the leader.
Yeah, exactly. This is something that this actually tries to keep up with. It's now showing the start of the race. That doesn't really help, does it?
No, definitely. I do think though that Trev Rich had an amazing race, coming from 14th, finishing in 8th. Obviously, longer race, who knows? That's the issue. That's the issue though, when you've got a qualifying and then you start in 14th, you've got to try and push him through that field. And obviously, if everyone's got the same kind of cars, it's not going to be a huge difference. It's going to be setup and skill that's going to take you there, which obviously for him isn't ideal. Obviously, he's used to qualifying a bit slow and then climbing.
Yeah, it's been quite an interesting race. I'm trying to find that Prikinson. I think this is it. Yeah, look, he comes across there, and whoever that is ahead gets spun into the wall. Actually,
that's unfortunate.
Oh, it was David Molliker. So here we can see it from his view now. You see he's on the back. He sees the gap up the inside and say, look, but yeah, he actually comes back on him and spins off. Actually, this is David Molliker off the track as well. Sometimes it just happens in racing, doesn't it? Yeah,
I think Thomas Pike, though, it's awkward because, I mean, if there's another view, I'd love to be able to view that. But from David Molliker's view, it looks like he cuts across into him. There's not much you can do at that point.
I don't know if that's just a case of... I think this might be the Skewy crash. No, it's a bit before. Let's see if I can scale it back to the Skewy crash. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. We didn't catch that one. Did he get crashed twice during this race? So who is it in front here? Sir Javier Benito. Here we are, going to watch it on here. Does he just... He hits that inside curve and comes out.
He hits the curb, and I don't get how. Like from this view, you're if you're Javier Benito, you're like, how did he not see me there? You're holding your line. You're not doing much. Obviously, if the wheel came off the curb and just drifted him out, then that's unfortunate. But like from Javier Benito's position, there's not much you can do. He's outside that line a little. He's taken the wide angle.
I think this is the Kiwi crash that happened here. He gets tapped because he was at the front of this train, wasn't he? Oh, and the server's gone back to restart the race.
Rip.
So, yeah, that's going to be it from us for the SRGP TRL Division B race. Honestly, I think that was actually a very, very good race today. People, if anyone has actually been watching, thank you for that. SRGP, again, thank you for letting me commentate this along with Kieran and Gaz, who I think has probably deafened himself.
Yeah, Gaz has disappeared. He disappeared about lap 3.
Yeah. So, yeah. Again, from me and Kieran, and also Gaz if he was here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, in not next week, the week after, we might, well, I might be back, I don't know about Kieran, be back for the next one. We can only hope. Thank you, and